back to the Big Picture 920 on your Wednesday. Jay Fox, welcome in. $1.6 billion is the purchase price that
I thought you were
Kroger...
giving me a check.
No, I wish I had that.
Congratulations.
But 1.65. So,
Yeah.
So much
this
money.
is what Kroger is throwing out there in order to purchase its Pittsburgh competition Giant Eagle.
Well, it does a lot for Kroger. It adds 200 stores. It's a market re-entry into Cleveland. They haven't been in Cleveland since 1985, and they left Cleveland because the union situation in Cleveland caused them to have financial problems. What this does now is it gives them Northern Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, Indiana, and Maryland, and they add 200 stores to the portfolio.
I remember growing up in Columbus, Kroger was always the store. And then moving to Cleveland, I was so surprised that they didn't have any Krogers. And you kind of learn why Giant Eagle, was the supreme leader there.
When I was a
of
little
grocery
child,
stores.
we had Kroger in Woodmere, which is east of Beechwood, but it left in 1974.
So
So
long
this
ago,
is
yeah.
a big reentry.
And we know Kroger typically doesn't pull out of markets.
No.
But, this is kind of a further grocery store consolidation because for the longest time, Columbus had Big Bear,
We did.
which was then how Giant Eagle got into the market because they gobbled up Big Bear. And, really the question is, what's next? We saw the Kroger merger
Albertsons.
with Albertsons
Right.
fail in 2024, but
Correct.
different administration.
And that will probably not come back to the table. There was a lot of bad blood between Albertsons and Kroger, and there was a lawsuit. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Right. So, I guess it is important to say that this still isn't really a done deal.
No, it's never done until the cart changes the label.
The ink on the check's got to dry.
That's right.
Yeah, it's got to go through. It's got to clear.
Yeah, when the masthead changes, that's when we know it's done.
Does the bank make you write out all those zeros? I don't know.
So I guess what is the timeline for things? Because I know last year, Giant Eagle announced that they were closing a bunch of stores.
Correct. Anytime you have a merger like this, it has to go through the processes. And my guess is we probably will not see any name changes at any stores until sometime next year.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Yeah, if they I'm curious if they will still operate them almost as two separate. I mean, at least in
that's a
crossover
good-
markets.
that's
perhaps.
Because Columbus will be an interesting market because it's really their only one that they've got. The Columbus metropolitan area is really the only one that they operate that crossover because they're not down in Cincinnati where their headquarters at, but Kroger isn't up in Cleveland.
Correct.
Where Giant Eagle still
And what
exists.
I'm interested to find out is what are they going to do with the Market District brand,
Yeah.
which is that upper echelon grocery store that's more boutique. Are they going to keep it? Will they rebrand it?
Yeah.
Or is every store going to look the same?
Yeah, and if you've ever walked into that Market District, they whoop it up there.
They do?
They have bands playing. There's a lot going on. So I hope
wine
they keep
tasting.
it. Wine tasting. The list
Right.
goes on.
And then obviously
So
there's
we
there's
enjoy our Market District.
Yes.
there's questions about the stores that are close together too. We don't know,
Sure.
and it is important to say we don't know what's going to happen with this. But like Clintonville, for example, where the Kroger and the Giant Eagle, that one's still a Giant Eagle, are
It is,
still just
and
like half a mile apart.
That was a Big Bear.
Right.
That specific
Oh,
location.
really?
That was where I shopped when I was in college. Now, likely what happens in a situation like this is they look at the facility and they determine which is in better repair, and then they will shutter the other store.
I feel
It's
like
the Big
Kroger's
Bear.
probably going to shut down a couple
But
locations.
I don't know. I'm really curious what'll happen there.
Yeah.